I mean, I get to make a mini craft and draw something as well. Hey guys, welcome to my studio. I hope you're good. So today we are going to be doing another Miniverse. And this time we are going to be doing the Make It Mini Harry Potter HONEYDUKES thing. What's it actually called? But this time we are going to be doing the Sweet Shop one and the HONEYDUKES one. Yeah, because I want to make some cute little sweets and draw them. So if you don't know what Miniverse is, there are loads and they're just mini crafts, whether it's resin or not resin. I've previously done a from scratch one that wasn't resin. I don't actually know what it was, really. Was it resin? So I'm really excited to see what's inside. This is relatively new, so let's do it. Let's get opening and then I'm going to make it and draw something. So yeah, let's do it. Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what's inside. Where's the opener thing? Where is it? Where is it? Hello? Hello? Ah, there it is.
I am so excited to open this. I've been seeing these everywhere. So it actually opened so satisfyingly. Ooh, I can't tell what's inside just yet. I mean, I know that looks like a sugar skull, but ooh, what have we got? What have we got? What have we got? I'm so excited to see what's inside. Just look at those colours of this dust. I think we can definitely focus on these colours for the colour palette. I mean, they're everywhere, even on this cute bottle of resin, which is no bigger than my thumb. I mean, you can tell the camera's zoomed in here, but they are so small. I have to say that the packaging in all of this is completely on point with the candy stripes. I mean, the theming is just perfect. I think after looking at everything closely, and obviously the spoiler of the instructions, we have got the sugar quills. I was going to say sugar scrolls then, that's not even one of them. Anyway, there are so many cute little projects, and I didn't really have a favourite, but I'm not going to lie. I wanted the beans, just because the colourful rainbow beans and the stripy packet. I almost already had an idea for that. So yeah, this is going to be a challenge.
So now we know what we're making. I think it's time to just get drawing and get sketching. Drawing and sketching is the same thing, isn't it? So for that, I'm going to need my trusty iPad and my Apple Pencil. Let's do it. Let's get sketching.
Okay, so I know I've just said that I was going to get my iPad and Apple Pencil to draw. It only felt right to put on Harry Potter and sit in my front room all cosy and get out my pencils because I just wanted to draw sweets, really. And more specifically, magical sweets. For this sketching, I was going to do it a little bit differently. I really wanted to create that magical sweet shop vibe, so I thought I would start with the sweets and just use my coloured pencils and go straight in and draw the sweets. I mean, I've just said I was going to draw sweets. Anywho, the idea of this is the fact that these are going to be cut out and used on my final piece as a mixed media piece. So yes, I'm doodling and sketching, but it can all be used. And I have to say, it's lovely to draw in coloured pencils. It is a completely different experience than normal pencil. I mean, okay, yes, one's coloured and one's not. But I don't know, you are more... How do I say it? You need to be braver with the lines because obviously it's harder to rub out depending on what pencils you use. But yeah, I just love the effect it gives and I find it really fun and refreshing. So if you're ever maybe in an art block or a rut, try sketching in the media that you're going to use, just anything other than pencil, because you just end up doing something that you weren't expecting. And going in with these Ahoo markers is very, very similar, but obviously these you can't undo, so whatever you draw, you're stuck with. And I do love that. And also the bonus of mixed media is if I draw something and I don't like it, I don't have to cut it out and stick it on my artwork. So win-win! It also means that I have lots to choose from when it comes to the final piece. So now I had so many sweets, it was time to draw a sweet shop to put them in, and I did want this to be quite quirky and a bit of a different double page spread, so I decided to do it vertically and use lots of different shapes and do something that would kind of be in the Harry Potter world or the Wizarding world. Now that I've drawn far too many sweets and lots of little things, it's probably a good time to actually make this craft, just in case there's anything else that I want to add to my drawing, or the little bits and doodles that I'm going to cut out and put on my drawing, and make sure I've got all the details and the little things that I want on there. The first thing that I had to do was try and open these teeny tiny little jars of gold dust. Gold dust? No, magic dust, no. I mean, it's mica powder or a pigment of some description, but I had to use this teeny little stick to get into all the little details, and it was very tricky, and I may or may not have got the dust everywhere. I do absolutely love these colours though, so I will be using these a lot throughout the picture and basically as the main colour scheme and the colour palette, because these colours plus the green top that I'm working on, which really I was only using to save the table, but I definitely love this as like the main background colour. Maybe I should do the shop in it. That would look quite magical. So now I'm adding the resin into it, which apparently now I know that if you put it in a hot bath, well, not an actual hot bath, just let the bottle sit in like a cup of warm water, and then it will come out so much easier. Because, yeah, this was a bit tricky, but I got there in the end. Then I had to swirl in some more of the colour powder throughout the resin to kind of give it this colourful, translucent colour, which you'll be pleased to know does actually work. I know, I'm as shocked as you are. After I'd had the idea and have come up with the final kind of main colour scheme, even though I am going to put lots of different colours in this because it is a magical sweet shop. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm drawing a magical sweet shop that sells magical sweets. That's kind of what a sweet shop is. Anywho, I'm going to draw that and draw a character coming out of the shop, because then she can be a bit magical. Maybe she's going shopping at a shop. Moving on, as you can see, I have done the sketch and I'm just getting ready to paint. With this, I decided to mix up quite a lot of gouache in one go because I wanted to make that teal colour and make enough for the whole background. Because if you're a painter or any sort of artist, you know it's so hard to mix the same colour twice. Because also gouache dries slightly differently than it looks when it's wet. So that's a whole other challenge in itself. I also wanted to make sure that I had kind of the same colour in the light, medium and the dark, because I was going to try a lot of blending. After all, it's a magical shop, so it's going to have to be open at night time. I mean, if I was the owner of a magical shop, I would definitely open it at night underneath a magical starry sky. To make this picture more difficult, I wanted to give the impression that the shop had this magical glow about it. So the lighter bits would be around the shop and the darker would be the rest of the sky. Now, I was definitely running out of paint at this point, and I still had another page to do where this was a vertical double page spread. So I was really trying to stretch it out here and make sure that I had enough and the colour would be the same throughout. I mean, I do have a trick up my sleeve that because this is mixed media, I am going to use coloured pencil over the top, which will only enhance the blending and make it look more seamless. I absolutely love adding coloured pencil scribbles over the top of a background just to give it that texture and also bring in more colour and different tones that will be around the picture, kind of bringing everything together. I do this in my digital work as well. I just really like the effect that it gives, and I think it's definitely a nice technique to make a piece look really cohesive. Yeah, and talk about being cohesive. Here I am trying to make the top match to the bottom because I am going to put it together on Photoshop, but it'll be nice, the less tweaks that I have to do on there, the better. And the colour just has to be spot on, but also the blending. So definitely another challenge for myself. This one is definitely full of lots of challenges, but that's what I like. I really like discovering new ways of doing things and different ways of overcoming design challenges and just finding new fun ways to do stuff. And don't even get me started on drawing a whole spread that is basically a house, considering I don't tend to draw houses. I mean, I do them in backgrounds, but generally I do characters. So the idea of a really colourful house was so tricky. As you can see, I did do a really rough colour rough that I had on my phone just so I could keep referencing it. I mean, I did need to know what colour I was colouring everything. So this stage of the artwork was all about laying the foundation and just getting the background done and colour on the page. And then I'd be able to build on top of this using mixed media, my pencils and the cutouts. So this is just a base layer, getting everything in its place. Once everything was dry, it was time to go back in and work on top of everything. Now, my first step here was the pencils. Here I am using my Caran d'Ache Luminance because the lovely bright colours sit on top of the gouache so nicely. And I really want those bright colours, that magical kind of glow to show through. I do also use the Pablos that are also by Caran d'Ache, because I do have a big collection of these. These are ones I've been building up for years and people have got me them for birthdays. So these are what I'm comfortable with and they are a really good pencil. So I admit I'm biased. I just like the fact that the Luminance has got a softer core and the Pablo has the harder core. So together they work really well and the colours are really bright. I would say just use whatever you're comfortable with and whatever you're happy using. Maybe get a smaller selection of the pencils that you want to try and then build upon that. However, I would definitely say it is worth investing in a really nice white pencil because this you can use for highlights. It's kind of like if you're doing work with more pens and markers that you want to invest in that good white highlighting pen. And these pencils you can buy individually, so they are available. As I've been rambling on about coloured pencils, you may have noticed I've actually started adding all of the cutout sweets that I did earlier. Now this was a mission to cut out and I haven't filmed that because I cut them out over a few evenings whilst I watched films after the kids were in bed. So I just chilled out, put the telly on and got on. But yeah, there were a lot to cut out and I also did the bricks and all the extra bits that I needed, like the doors, the feathers, just to make sure that I had everything. And to tell you the truth, I could probably do this piece again with how many sweets and jars and little details I have. So you never know, I may have to do another one in this series where they're inside the shop or something along those lines, but either way I have all the cutouts for it, so that bit's already done. I have to say though, I am so glad that I had kind of too many things to cut out because it meant I could do a lot of trial and error, place a few bits, and then if I didn't like it, move it or swap it. So it did work out for me. I always think, especially when I'm doing a character like here, that you're basically trying on the different clothes and the different options to see what works. So the only way you're going to know is by placing them on and just seeing what they look like. Once everything was stuck down, I went back in with my pencils just to add in some more touches. In this case, I added in some more bricks and just some more highlights and shadows where I'd stuck things down and any places that I think I'd missed, because I really do want to add to this more, and the whole plan was to kind of work in lots of layers and add different things, put in the pencil textures. So I was kind of winging it and seeing as I went if I needed to add more or cut out anything else. So yeah, I just had so much fun experimenting and had no idea where this was going to end up when I started. So this piece was definitely a journey, but a fun one. I have to say, putting this together was actually quite tricky. Getting all the levels right and the lighting in each of them. Yes, I took them one after the other on the same camera, but you are going to get the differences. So it was about getting them as best I could on Photoshop. Then I'd take them into Procreate and kind of fill in any gaps and then just work on top of it with the pencils and the brushes that I have in Procreate that I am going to use throughout the piece. So it looks like it's all one piece and all cohesive. You can see as I'm filling in all of these little white bits and these gaps that the ink dropper is my best friend, because even though technically where this is a double page spread, you are going to get the gutter in the middle. You don't want people to know that it was two separate pieces, even though it is two separate pieces that are joined together. And also, if for some reason this image was a poster or printed off like as one piece, you don't want a big funny awkward line across the middle that doesn't match up. When it came to drawing the character, I did want her to look magical and definitely have a few magical things about her. So I gave her blue hair, and there were two reasons: because blue is fun, and also because I didn't want her to get lost in the background. And also another reason, so there were three, that hair colours such as brown and blonde weren't actually in the colour palette. So for me, it made sense to do it blue. And she does stand out. I mean, she is a magical witch that has gone to a magical sweet shop, and I'm going to draw like the sweets all jumping out her bag. So yeah, blue hair made sense, and also little stars on her coat. Or is it a cloak? I don't know, I can't decide. It's kind of like a mix between two when I was designing it, but I left it like that because I liked it. When it was time for finishing touches, I did want to go back to the feathers, because after all, that's the whole reason why I made this piece. And I'm just realising I never actually filmed them when they were drying out the thing. Oh well, you saw them. Just imagine that they're actually, ready and done. Or maybe I might film them in a minute. So I went back in and did some more digital touches on the feathers just to make them stand out a little bit brighter and also give the effect that they were floating. And this kind of took me on to drawing all the other things, and like the jumping jellyfish, and yes, I did want to call them jumping jellyfish. But for example, the lines on it that show that they were jumping, and these brainstorms. I mean, I did have names for all of these as I was going, so I thought, why not put them in the artwork? I did it because I could.
Thank you so much for watching. It just goes to show you really can find inspiration anywhere. Now, I have to say, I absolutely love these mini verses, and they're just so much fun because you don't know what you're going to get inside. So it's like a mystery, but I know the theme of what I'm getting. So yeah, if you know of any more mini verses that you'd like me to draw, I mean, I probably will be drawing more in the future. They're fun. I get to make cute tiny things and draw. I mean, win-win. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Make it look like I'm throwing it. No. How do I make it not look like I'm throwing it to myself? Anyway, I really like these. Here's a video that I think you'll like, and here's a video that you two think you'll like. Enjoy!